Alright guys, and for the second video today we are of course going to look at the Master Duel Forbidden Limited List, see how good my predictions were. I was predicting obviously hits to Snake Eyes and hits to Rescue Ace. I was predicting something happening to the Airlifter, also was guessing that Snake Eye Oak or the Flamberge Dragon will get a hit. Let's see what happened here. So we first have cards to be unlimited. This will be implemented on June the 6th, which is the date at which we will get in the new pack then. This is next week, the Thursday. Okay, next week Thursday is when we will get this new pack here, and we will then be able to play it in Master Duel. Okay, very interesting here. Thursday might also be Friday, depending on how this ends up, because sometimes this is a day early, but we will see. So we have Katsumi Unlimited, Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage from 2 to 3. Not the biggest surprise here, because we will get new Sky Striker support. If you have not seen that, then check out one of the latest leaks video. I have it in the top right corner where you can go check that out. But obviously, we get new Sky Striker stuff, and we will get Engage from 2 to 3. I think this is quite nice, because we will see more Sky Striker decks running around, especially with the new stuff, where there are some nice cards, but mainly the alt art cards that we will get, as I already said. Check that out in the right corner if you have not already. We have Performer Pearl Monkey Board from 1 to 3. So this is something that you have to tell me, guys, because this was back in the day when I wasn't really playing the game. I know that Performer Pearl Monkey Board was one of the cards that was forbidden at some point in all the formats, because this made the first Pendulum deck, I think, way too strong. Unless you have a Performer card in your other Pendulum zone, this card's Pendulum scale becomes 4. Okay, during a main phase, if this card was activated this turn, you can add 1 level 4, so you can add something, and then monster, you can discard this card, reveal 1 or as monster in your hand, and if you do, reduce the level of monsters in your hand with that name by 1 for the rest of the turn. Okay, can't really see, I can imagine how this is very strong, reducing the level of monsters, so you can then summon them. But obviously there is probably a combination, a combo that was really great with the Monkey Board, I guess, because we already have this at 1. It will not make a big difference at 3, I guess, but let me know in the comments. I think that's just a case of getting a card back, or giving us a card back that was on the ban list, but not having like the biggest meta impact. We have Rite of Aramis here from 2 to 3. I think this is very nice. The Adventure engine is definitely not too strong. We have the Diabellstar engine. We will get the Fiendsmith engine that we will talk about in another video in the future, and I think it's totally fine releasing the Rite of Aramis here from the ban list. I don't think that we will now see the Adventurer engine everywhere. I think we had the from 2 to 3. I think we had also the other Adventurer girl. How is this called? Adventure? Is this even called Adventurer? Today I can't just, I typed this wrong. That's maybe why I couldn't find it. I think this was at 1 at some point, and we got it back at 2 if I remember this correctly, and now we can also make the Rite of Aramis here. I can have it unlimited basically, which is nice. I think you can definitely completely unban this engine, and then you can splash it into some decks, which I think would be totally fine. This is definitely not an unfair engine, giving you the ability to have an Omni Negate and a bounce. This is quite nice and nothing too ridiculous. There are other engines that will get you into like a complete Appaloosa, for example, not the Memento engine, the musical engine, the Melodious engine that we will get in the future. So on this front, I think it's totally fine. We have Blackwing Steam the Cloak from 1 to 3, also very fine. We have this coming off from the Forbidden list when we got the new structure deck, that does not make the biggest difference in playing the deck, and also having this back at 3 also does not make the biggest difference, because normally you search this guy, which means you don't need to hard draw him, so having him at 3 doesn't really make a difference. It was very important having him at 1, but this doesn't change anything, so it's fine for him to come back from the ban list, of course. And then we have cards to be semi-limited. We have Sprite Jet from 1 to 2. I really like that, because we obviously had to hit the Sprite engine back in the past when it was too strong, but now it's definitely not. You can play the Sprite engine in some decks, and it's not weak or something, but has definitely been power crept by the newer engines that we have in the game right now, Snake Eyes and other stuff, obviously. So I think it's totally fine giving this back, getting this back to 2. You could also put this back again at 3, I think, and the other hits to Sprite that we have, I think you could also reverse them all and it would not end up in a Sprite once again being the most dominant deck. I also really love the Sprite cards. I really like them from an artwork standpoint. I also really like them from how they are played standpoint, and then also I like that they have very strong effects, but these low attack and defense numbers that you can boost with other cards. I always love the Sprite engine. Gigantic Sprite is one of the coolest animations in the entire game, if you ask me. By the way, guys, if you like my videos, please consider hitting the thumbs up and the notification bell and subscribing. This would help me out a lot. That would be great, and you won't miss out on any more videos. Then we have cards to be limited. I guess we will now get the Snake Eye hits here, or something at least, because as of right now there is nothing here. We have Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils from 2 to 1. Okay, I was not, so I told you that I wasn't expecting this one, because in my opinion this is a lazy hit. This is not a hit that changes how Snake Eyes wants to be played, but this is only a hit to consistency, which, I mean, this is a hit, but yeah, I don't know. And then we have Snake Eye Ash from 2 to 1, and okay, and there is the, as I talked about in the other video as well, the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity going to 0, which we were assuming this is because of Centurion, because Centurion can pretty easily summon them, but then it turned out we will get another archetype in the next pack. If you have not seen that one, go check out the latest video here. We will probably get Centurion then maybe the pack afterwards, and this is why we are losing the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, because Centurion can pretty easily make this on turn 1, and this would be a very unfun interaction. Unfortunately, this will also rob Centurion of one of their main plays, and it remains to be seen how strong the archetype will be without their ability to summon King Calamity. But the most important thing here is obviously the Snake Eye Ash and the Wanted to 1. These are the consistency hits for the Snake Eyes, and here is my prediction when it comes to the power level of this deck. So obviously, first of all, I don't think these are great hits. I think these are very lazy hits. I like that we are getting back an ultra rare crafting point thingy from the Wanted. I also have a King Calamity, which I was saving up because I was aware that Centurion is coming in the future, but I was also quite aware of the fact that we will probably see something happening to King Calamity before that, and I think this is totally fine. This is an unhealthy card. So a lazy hit here, in my opinion, a pure consistency hit. One thing I have to mention here is this is definitely a hit. You can feel this if you play the pure version. I am now playing the Kashtira Snake Eye version, which I think is the better one, and there you feel the reduced consistency a bit less, because so obviously if you take out Wanted and Snake Eye Ashes, because we had Wanted as 3 and then we had Snake Eye Ash at 3, and then you had to take out one Wanted and one Snake Eye Ash, right? So if you take out these cards, then you have to replace them either with hand traps or with consistency, and in the pure Snake Eye deck you can't really replace them with more consistency, even though I will suggest something in a moment here, but you will replace them with more hand traps, which means you have more ability to stop your opponent, but you will also brick more often. And this is why I decided to change out the pure variant for the Snake Eye Kashtira variant, because then I could just replace these cards here with the Kashtira engine and then be once again quite consistent, you could say. Obviously, this is a hit to the deck. You want to open your Snake Eye Ash, you want to open a Wanted, because these together make a very strong 2-card combo. But then again, this deck is still being played in the same way as it was before. Yes, you will less likely open your Snake Eye Ash. You will then maybe use your Bonfire. This might get Ash, this might get Roland Lockbird. You won't as often see a Wanted, which Wanted is definitely the harder hit, because Wanted can also, together with the original Sinful Spoils, draw an additional card, which is definitely very, very strong. The ability to not do this anymore and draw into another potential hand trap is very, very nice. But I think what you can now do in the future is replace these cards with Small Worlds. You can also play Small Worlds, or we could also replace them with Where Art Thou, if you wanted to do that. But here's my prediction. I think that now with these hits here to Snake Eye, we will probably see Rescue Ace be a bit more dominant deck, because Rescue Ace is definitely untouched. Obviously, they are also playing the Diabellstar, and this is a little hit for them, but they don't really need the engine that much, and they don't need a Snake Eye Ash at all. So I think that Rescue Ace might now be stronger than the pure Snake Eye deck, and probably, this is my prediction, the best version, the best deck you will play in the next from the next pack in the next month will be Fire King Snake Eye, because and especially because we can quickly take a look at, and we have talked about this when we talked about the other leaks, especially because we will also get the new Fire King card, the Consort Ulcanix, which means we have a new normal summon. So we have lost normal summons with the Snake Eye Ashes here, which were our best normal summons, and it's still the best normal summon if you draw the guy. But we now have normal summon Consort Ulcanix, which also gets you into a really strong board. So this is a very nice and yeah, convenient replacement for the Snake Eye Ash and the Wanted. So I will probably, or we will probably see the Fire King Snake Eye variant be the most dominant one, and then Rescue Ace, and then we will probably see the normal Snake Eye variant at place, or at rank 3 if you want to call it that. So long story short, Rescue Ace, not Rescue Ace, Snake Eye will still be one of the most dominant engines. This is definitely not enough. You have to hit them in another way to really hit what they are doing, not to only hit the consistency, which is what we are seeing here. I'm a bit sad that we don't see any hits to Rescue Ace. This deck will take over now, in my opinion. You can see it right here. It's definitely in terms of power level, and obviously this is only tournaments, right? But in terms of power level, this is below Snake Eye at the moment. But yeah, Rescue Ace will definitely pick up in power, and then we will also see the Fire King Snake Eye, which will probably be the most dominant version. So in my opinion, when I should give I don't know, a grade to this ban list, I think this is a very it's a mid ban list. I mean, obviously it succeeded in making the deck weaker, but I think they could have done it a bit braver. They could have done it better and less lazy. But I guess I won't complain about getting back ultra rare crafting points. So this is always nice, I guess. But let me know in the comments what you think of these changes here. Do you think that now the Snake Eye engine will be at a weak point and we are not seeing a lot of Snake Eye decks anymore, or what do you think will happen? I think if we would not get the Fire King cards in the next pack, you would definitely see less Snake Eyes on the ladder in the next month. But with the appearance of Fire King, a lot of people do like the cards. We will of course see some pure Fire King decks being played, but most of them will be the Fire King Snake Eye version, which will be very strong. It is our next dominant tier 1/tier 0 meta deck, if you ask me. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for being here, and we will see each other in the next one.